Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning, everyone. Can we confirm you can hear me? Okay, I see Bluefield FF. Thank you very much for the confirmation. So, good morning to you. You're welcome, sir. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I see Good Friday. Good morning to you, sir. You're welcome. Peculiar. Good morning to you. You're welcome. And then I see Jonathan as well. Good morning to you, sir. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. So let's get right to it. Good morning, everyone, once again. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, traders. If today is your first uh time too, good morning to you and you're welcome. It's great to have you join us for today's edition of the morning market review. So on this forum every day, we get to look at what's going on in the market in terms of fundamentals and technical setup, and also with the hope that we'll be able to keep a few entries and trade ideas for today and even for the rest of the week as well. All right. So usually we start with the majors. Uh, those are paired with USD as one of the currencies. And from there, we start examining other pairs as well. Pairs we'll be watching or add to our watch list for trade opportunities. And as I always say, as I always mention on this forum, it is also, we're also doing this with the hope that when you listen long enough by yourself, you'll be able to come up with your own strategies based on the fact that you have listened to our top analysts on a daily basis long enough. You'll be able to come up with your own strategies as well. All right. So I'm going to head straight to MT4 to see what we have for today. Just a minute while I do that. All right. I want to believe you can see my screen, right? I have MT4 displayed. Can we confirm we can see it? So I'm sure we're on the same page, and then we can push forward and forge ahead very fast. Good morning to you. You're welcome now. Thank you for joining us. Right. So I have MT4 up, and I want to believe you can see my screen. All right. I see Peter Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for the confirmation. Good morning to you too. You're welcome, sir. All right. Again, we start with USD index. The USD index. We start with this so that we can understand the direction of the dollar. And then with this, we'll be able to approach the rest of the major pairs, including gold and US indices as well. And for the USD index, okay, I would like to say that we're already seeing the Trump effect from yesterday. We're already seeing the Trump effect with this huge bearish candle. Now, this is also expected. If you were here on this forum the last time, I highlighted how, just a minute, I highlighted how, if you look at this trend line here, if you look at this trend line, I'm going to change the color so that it's more visible. Right. I highlighted this trend line to us, and then I was showing us how since let's see, I'm going to fast forward a little. Since this period, beginning of 2023 here, this trend line here has acted as resistance from beginning of 2023. Fast forward to this period, the same thing too. This was March 2023. Fast forward to here, October 2023, and even a retest here towards the end of October. If we continue to push forward, we continue to trade forward, currently, we recently saw another retest of that same trend line. So at the time, the USD index was pushing towards that area. Of course, I was looking at what would happen around this trend line area. And interestingly, I also remember saying that this would actually be the top of this bullish movement that we've seen since September of 2024, and especially when we got the reclaim of this level at 102.6 back then. Of course, that was what at that time confirmed the bullish structure. That was what confirms the bullish structure, and then it has played out brilliantly back to that 110 level, back to that 110 level. Okay. And then another factor that we're also considering, if you have been following this forum, we were also looking at this imbalance here. We're also looking at this imbalance here, or what you can call a fair value gap. You will notice that since we got this, I'm going to be showing us more examples of this on more instruments that we're going to look at. Since we got this huge bearish candle here, we haven't seen any pullback into that area. And when we have imbalances like this, they usually serve as magnets for price. So when this bullish move was beginning to get more constructive, of course, I was also looking at price coming back to that 110 and above, at least to feel that this imbalance that we had here. All right, and then that has also played out quite brilliantly. Okay, so currently, now that price is now below this trend line here again, this recent trend line that started from towards the end of 2024, acted as support right here, fast forward to this period. So as support, even all through this period, this consolidation phase also as support. That was towards the end of December. And then fast forward to January, we got a retest of that same level. And then pushed all the way to that high at 110. And currently, with this huge bearish candle from yesterday, it has now closed below this trend line. It has now closed below this trend line, which of course signifies weakness. which signifies weakness. So as it says, this level here, that should be around 108. Right, that should be around 108. All right, so as it is right now, I'll be for this bearish move to be even more constructive and well defined. I'll be looking out for a close below this 108 level. All right, now for this yesterday candle, it quite close below or barely close below 108 level, and then today we're seeing a close back above that level. So for this to get really bearish, then I would like to see a sustained break below 108. I'd like to see a sustained break below 108. And then that would confirm that at least we're going to get a much deeper pullback. We're going to get a much deeper pullback from the dollar index. All right, so that's what I'll be looking out for USD index, a break or a sustained break below this 108 level, which is currently acting as support, so that I can confirm that we're going to get lower prices from the USD index. And if this is going to play out as such, then the likes of Euro, USD, Pounds USD, of course, would be bullish. However, if it stays above this level, if we don't see a break below this support area, then we could have a rerun towards this 110 resistance. If we get a rerun towards that 110 resistance, especially if we get a close back above this trend line that price recently broke as support. All right. So for the USD index, it boils down to whether we see a close below this 108 level. If we get a close below this 108 level, then that will kind of confirm that we're going to get, or we would likely see, a much deeper pullback from that level. All right. So with that being said, and with that in mind, we now head over to Euro USD, the Euro dollar. Okay, for the Euro USD, of course, I remember telling us that it has had quite a quiet week at that time. Price trading between or stuck between this 1.035 level, this 1.035 level, and 1.025. All right, that was 14th. That was the last time. Yeah, this candle here. All right. So at the time we were talking about, we're analyzing this instrument. Price was here. That was last week Tuesday. Price was here at that time. And then I remember telling us that it has had a quiet week, and then it's stuck between these two levels: resistance at 1.035 and then support at 1.02 level. Okay. Now, of course, with the bearish move that we saw on the dollar index, of course, Euro USD is an inverse of the dollar index. And that's why for Euro USD, what we got was this bullish candle. We got this bullish candle right there. All right. So as it is right now, what we'll be looking out for here will be this resistance at 1.046, and then support here back at 1.035, these two levels. Resistance around this area, 1.046 level, and then support at this price level. All right, so as we can see, it's recently tested this support side. It's recently tested the support side. All of this happening on the daily time frame. Don't forget, we use the daily time frame as our anchor time frame. Of course, our best place to start is on this time frame, and on this time frame, usually We can determine the trend and also important support and resistance levels. And that's why uh, I like using the daily time frame as the anchor time frame. And then I can tune down to a much lower one for entry opportunities. So as it is now for Euro USD, I'll be looking at this resistance and then this support. Look, so like I said, it's recently tested the support side at 1.035, and then we're seeing some kind of push from that level. So let's see what it looks like on 1 hour time frame. Let's see what it looks like on 1 hour time frame. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, this is the support at 1.035. And then, so what it means is that on this 1 hour time frame, if we can get a confirmed bullish pattern currently at this current price level, we can get confirm a bullish pattern right there, then that would be a trigger to buy as long as price stays above that support level. That's for Euro USD. Okay, let's move on to pound USD. Of course, very similar to Euro USD, very similar to Euro USD. Okay, so for pound USD, we're looking at this resistance here. We're looking at this resistance. Before that, of course, we have this at 1.23 and then support at 1.22. So for pound USD, it's around the resistance area currently. It's around the resistance area currently. So let's see. Don't forget, if the USD index continues to get bearish from the current level, like as we pointed out earlier, it's recently broken below the trend line, and then it's looking very much bearish. And then the confirmation we would need on USD index is a break below the 108 level, as I pointed out. All right, so for pound USD, also on the 1 hour time frame now, of course, you could see this support here, you can see this support here, and then again, for pound USD on this 1 hour time frame, what we need to see is a bullish pattern at this current level, just like for the Euro USD as well. We need to see a bullish pattern at the current level to confirm that we're going to have higher prices from the current level. The same thing for pound USD. From this current level now, if we see some sort of a bullish reversal candle, for instance, we get a bullish engulfing right there, then that would confirm that we're going to see higher prices from the current level, and then we can target higher prices. All right. So that's for pound USD. Now, for both pound USD and Euro USD, this will be invalidated if we get it close back below the support. If we see it close back below the support, then what it means is that we'll see much more deeper or trend continuation, because this has been in a downtrend. This has been in a downtrend for Euro USD and pounds USD. All right. Moving on to USD card. Moving on to USD card now. Moving on to USD card. Of course, USD card has been really fantastic. Has been really fantastic. It's playing out according to our analysis. It's been playing out according to our analysis. I remember we started from okay, I think it's not visible on the weekly time frame. Right, we're looking at this range from resistance to support, from support back to resistance, from resistance back to support, and now we're pushing back towards resistance. which is really fantastic. Now, this is weekly, so you could tell how long it has stayed within that range. And then fast forward to what we have there on the daily time frame now. We also got a range between 1.387 and 1.32. The 3 days for almost 2 years. We check it for almost 2 years. Price traded within this range. And then eventually, I'm trying to give us a background. And then eventually, we got to close above that resistance of the consolidation at 1.387. And so far, it has been really brilliant. Now, back at this support now, because initially it was resistance all through the consolidation phase. It was resistance, price broke above it. So we expect that same level to support price. And then interestingly, we got exactly that. Give us a bullish engulfing candle. And after that confirmation, that was our trigger to buy. And then it has delivered a really fantastic opportunity, over 500 pips right there. Now, currently, it's now stuck within this resistance and support. It's stuck between this resistance at 1.445 and support at 1.43. Really interesting. Now, the USD card obviously has been range bound, and this is as far back as December. Yeah, as far back as December. Again, this is also largely due to rising of oil prices, which supports the Canadian dollar. So even though the USD has been very bullish, we are seeing a range on USD card. It's also because if you check oil prices, it has also been extremely bullish. So that's why we're seeing this range here. The Canadian dollar is positively correlated with the price of oil. And that's what is responsible for this range that we now see. So for this to give us more clarity now, it means that we need to see a break out of this consolidation. And only two ways. It's either break above the resistance or break below the support. So either break above the resistance or break below the support. But one thing we know is that this will not continue forever. It will not continue to range forever. Eventually, we're going to see a break above the resistance or a close below the support. Now, with the bearish move that we currently have on the dollar index for this now, as long as that is still in play, then I will be more tilted towards getting a break below support as long as USD closed below that 108 level that we highlighted earlier. All right. So now at resistance, let's see what it looks like on 1 hour time frame. Okay, this is what we have on the 1 hour time frame. So on this time frame now, if you can get some bearish pattern at this resistance, then that would give us some confirmation that we're going to see a push back to support. If we get bearish pattern from that resistance. However, of course, the market has the last words. If you get it close back above the resistance, then that would mean that we're going to see higher prices from the USD card. We're going to get higher prices from the USD card. This is what it looks like on the 1 hour time frame. And you can see currently it is also above this 50 period moving average. I'm going to show us the properties now. Stick period 50, and then it is exponential. So price is currently above the 50 period moving average. And this, of course, signifies strength. This signifies strength. And however, if you look at the strength here too, it's appearing to be this resistance. Of course, price is currently finding it difficult to go above that resistance in spite of the strength. So, like I said, it's going to boil down to whether we get a bearish pattern from this resistance. If we see that, then we can expect price to probably push back to that support level again. And however, if what we get is a close above resistance, then this is going to get as bullish as it can get. All right. Next up, I have AUD USD, AUD USD. And the reason why I added this, the reason why I added this pair or this asset is because it's beginning to look more constructive. AUD USD. If you check this chart, it has been trending lower since this should be late September, right, from this period. You see, towards the end of September 2024. Of course, we got this fake out. We got this fake out. You see, price closed above this resistance at 0.68. Right. If you look back to the last time that happened, end of 2023, when we got this close above the same 0.68 level, of course, we didn't get a follow through. Price closed above it. Ideally, we should have continued to see higher lows and higher highs after that break of resistance, but that did not happen. It closed back below resistance, and then it got really bearish from that point. Fast forward to this period, we saw a retest of that middle of 2024. We got a retest of that resistance, and then it got bearish again. Fast forward to August, the same thing happened. We tested the resistance and then got bearish as well. And then September, towards the end of September again, we got it close above that resistance and then closed back below it, similar to what we got here back in December. And then that has been really fantastic. That was what gave rise to this bearish move that we now have. Okay, so this bearish move that we now see, of course, has now formed a well-defined descending channel. Now formed a well-defined descending channel, and that's why I said this will present fantastic opportunities in the days ahead. Because we now see a break to the upside. We now see a break above resistance. This trend line resistance, that is, we've seen a break above it. This is on the daily time frame, and then we see a retest as well. Let's head over to 4 hours, so it's clearer. You see, so price broke above that trend line with this bullish candle, and then we have a retest as well. We have a retest, and then it's now beginning to look bullish. So at this current level, we now need a reason to go long. We now need a reason to go long, because apart from knowing that it's bullish, we also need to know or get an ideal entry level. Also need to get an ideal entry level. And then if you look at what's happening on the 4 hours time frame, we're beginning to see that bearish formation. Let's check 1 hour. Okay, so 1 hour as well. So this is looking like the morning star pattern. We are familiar with candlestick patterns. It's looking like the morning star. So if at the end of this 1 hour, it's fully confirmed, then from this current level, we can expect price to push higher from this current level for AUD USD. And that would be really fantastic because it's just happening. And we're catching it quite fresh. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. V, Adeyemi Olalekan, you're welcome. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. All right, next up, Euro NZD. Okay, Euro NZD 2 I added this because remember we saw this fake out here. We saw this fake out, and then we related it to what happened back here. This was August 2024. Price closed above this resistance again at around 1.845. Closed above that resistance, and then back below it, closed back below it, and that gave rise to this really fantastic bearish move that we got. Okay, which is typical of a fake out. When it happens like that, usually it triggers an extensive move in the opposite direction. It was a brilliant trade at that time. Now, fast forward to here, we have another case of a fake out. We got another case of a fake out towards the end of December 2024. So price closed above that same resistance at 1.845. Really bullish, you see it. Is a bull green candle. All right. And then what happens after it closed back below the resistance? And that's why I have this dark gray rectangle right there to highlight that fake out. All right. I also have these as screenshots just to remind myself what I saw for that trade. Okay, so now that it's closed back below that resistance, and then we're seeing lower lows. Look at this trend line. It's been giving us lower lows. All right, which is again typical of the downtrend. All right, so right now price is back at that trend line resistance. Price is back there. So what this means is that at that resistance, we'll now be looking for sell opportunities at that resistance. Okay, and if you check what we currently have, it's beginning to look more defined. So what it means is that, of course, already this pattern here is what we call the bearish Arami. What we call the bearish Arami. All right. What we call the bearish Arami. All right. So at that time, this is a fantastic trigger to short Euro NZD. This will be a fantastic trigger to short Euro NZD. Currently, it's still around that area. And then what would invalidate this would be if we get it close back above that trend line resistance, then this would be invalidated. And that would mean that we could likely see a push back to the resistance. But currently, it's looking really bearish, and then even giving us a fantastic sell opportunity right there. Fantastic sell opportunity right there. Okay, that's for Euro NZD. That's for Euro NZD. Euro pounds, what do we have there? Okay, we'll come back to Euro pounds in a minute. But first, let's look at NZD-USD. Let's look at NZD-USD. NZD-USD because, right, you see, it recently fell to this critical support level. All right. So for NZD-USD now, so like I said, it recently fell to this critical support level that dates as far back as 2020, say back 2020 March. And then even here, 2022 October, we got a retest of that same support level, and then it got bullish from there. We check what happened at 2022 March, got really bullish from there. So on that note, we're also looking at a similar occurrence currently at the current level. All right. And then I remember I was pointing it to us last time on this forum. Price was around here at that time. Tuesday, 14th January. Price was here at that time. And then I pointed out this move here. which is also the morning star pattern, the morning star pattern. And then we're expected to get bullish from that level. All right. So currently it's still very much intact. The bullish move is still very much intact until we see a close below that support level. That's what will cancel out this bullish move that we are seeing. Okay. So because it is above that support level, we target buys. This is what it looks like on 1 hour. All right. And then we can even see that it is above the 50 period moving average again. It's above it. So what we now need to see would be the trigger to buy at the current level. So we need some bullish pattern for us to buy at the current level, which could be a bullish engulfing pattern at the end of this 1 hour. Then to be an opportunity to go long. NZD USD. Okay, Euro AUD too. We can add this to our watch list. Okay, looks like this. All right. So Euro AUD, Euro AUD. Right. This resistance is one to watch. This resistance is one to watch. Currently price is above it, and then it's also broken above this trend line. So initially, we got a break above this resistance at price level 1.66, and then this trend line here also above that trend line, also above that trend line. All right. So for one, this trend line now, we're expected to act as support for price. The same thing with this 1.66 level. We expect this area to act as support for price, and then we could see higher prices from the current level. However, if we get it close back below this support area, the support, support at 1.66, and then this trend line here as well. If we get it close back below it, then this will be another case of a fake out. And then what we'll see will be an expensive move in the opposite direction for Euro AUD. All right. Moving on to gold. Moving on to gold. Okay. Moving on to gold now. Okay, so for gold, if you remember, let's see, it was here at the time. All right, so it was here at the time. And then price broke above that resistance. Initially was here. This resistance here at 2690 level, around this area. So price broke above it, broke above that resistance. And then here we got a triple top pattern on two and then three as well. We got a triple top pattern, this triple top pattern, and then for that reason we got this very quite shallow pullback. We got that quite shallow pullback from that level. From that triple top pattern at 2720. Yeah, from here we got this pullback. All right, so it found a support at 2690 again, which was the resistance before. It found support here, with this bullish engulfing candle, that was the trigger to buy at that support. And currently, price is now above that resistance at 27.20. Price is now well above it. All right. So what this means that for gold traders, what it means is that this level at 27.20 is now the support level, is now the support level. So as long as price stays above that level, then we'll continue to look for buy opportunities. We'll continue to look for buy opportunities until we get a close back below that support at 27.20. So, like I said, what it means is that as long as price stays above this resistance, currently, this is giving us a bullish engulfing pattern. You see, above the resistance, which means that this resistance has now turned to support. So from this level now, we're looking for opportunities to long gold. All right. For oil, do you have anything interesting here? This too has quite played out as expected. Has quite played out as expected as well. If you remember, we started from here for oil chart. We started from here. It was stuck within this triangle. It was stuck within this triangle. You see lots of resistance support, resistance support, resistance support at that triangle. And then we also know at the time that price will not continue to do this forever. Will not continue to do this forever, just like we have for USD CAD as well. Just like we pointed out for USD CAD, it will not continue to do this forever as well. If you look at oil, it's almost the same scenario. It was ranging, and then eventually we got a break above the resistance here, and then that was our trigger to buy in that direction. Okay, so initially we're looking at resistance here, broke above it, and then created another resistance here at 80.70. Okay, and then of course price broke above that resistance as well. All right. Now, what does this mean? Right. So if you look at what happened here, back here, August 2024, price broke above that resistance and then closed back below it. This is, of course, a typical fake out as well. Broke above the resistance and then closed back below the resistance. And then that gave rise to this bearish move. All right. That's one. Two, price again barely broke above the resistance again, closed back below it, and then another really bearish move at that level as well. All right, so fast forward to what we currently have here. We're seeing another case of a fake out right there. We're seeing another case of a fake out. Right, so again, price closed above that same resistance at 70.80, closed back below it, and then of course for that reason we're also expecting another really aggressive move in the opposite direction, just like we've seen it multiple times. All right, so again we're expecting another aggressive move in the opposite direction for oil as well. Okay. Let's look at Euro cards because I have another instance of fair value gap happening here. All right. Typically, when price breaks structure on the higher time frame with a fair value gap, like I pointed out for it was Euro USD and even USD index, it tends to like I said, act as magnets for price so that it can feel that imbalance. Now, if you look at, first of all, to have a perspective, look at what happened back here. This was when? This was November 2024. We got this bearish candle, Of course, at that time, we're expecting price to feel that imbalance right there. All right, and that happens. This push back to that area here, proved that. And then recently, we also got that here, back here. We also got a fair value gap right here. All right. So again, we expect this to also act as magnet for price, and that's what we got right here. Okay. So currently, what we now have is this resistance. We have this resistance here at 153.80. We have this resistance, and then the support here at 14,920. Okay. So let's go back to 1 hour. Okay, this is a good chart on 1 hour time frame. Almost on a straight line here, almost on a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For about 6 hours, it's traded on that straight line. And then this current candle, this current 1 hour candle is now breaking above that resistance on this 1 hour time frame. Now breaking above that resistance. All right. So for that reason, I'm going to do the same thing here. All right. So for that reason, back here, if this level now, because price has now broken above this, of course, this is a consolidation on this 1 hour time frame for about 6 hours. It's traded on that straight line. And the current candle that we now see here is now breaking above that resistance. All right. So we'll be looking out for if that resistance can now hold as support. If we can hold as support, you see, that's the straight line. It's now breaking above it. So if this level here can hold as support, yeah, this level here can hold as support, then from there, it's very likely that we see a push back to the resistance at 153.80. It's likely to get that if this level can hold as support. However, if we get it close back below it, then what we'll see will be a retest of that support level. We break below it too, confirming lower prices for you. Quite interesting there, because as soon as we get a break out of this consolidation phase, it's going to present a fantastic trading opportunity. It's going to present a fantastic trading opportunity. Okay, US 30, US 100, US 500 as well. We can see they have been quite bullish. I've seen they have been quite bullish. All right. So using US 30 now, using US 30. Now this level here, of course, this is bullish. You would agree with me. Initially, we're looking at this ascending channel. We're looking at this ascending channel, trading from support to, this is the daily time frame, by the way, on US 30. Trading from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, back to support, resistance, support, resistance, back to support, and then we got a break below that support. Fantastic trade opportunity. Of course, this signifies weakness, and then it delivered about that's about close to 160 pips right there, which was really fantastic. This gave us a double bottom pattern at this support level. Of course, that's a bullish reversal pattern confirmed by this piercing pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern. And then that was our trigger to buy. That was our trigger to buy. And then interestingly, it's been playing out really well. Now, if you look at this level here, it is exactly on the golden ratio of the Fibonacci tool. Let's see. If you are familiar with how the Fibonacci tool works, you see tested the 61.8 level of the Fibonacci retracement level. You see it at 61.8. All right. Now, this 61.8 level is, of course, resistance currently, is, of course, resistance. So it's going to take a close above that resistance to confirm that we're going to see higher prices from the US indices. We're going to get higher prices. All right. So again, it tested the 61.8 level, and then from this day, that was yesterday Sunday, from this day, tested the 61.8 Fibo level, and then that kind of pulled back a little, and then we're seeing a push up again. All right, so let's check it on a lower time frame. This is what it looks like on 1 hour. All right, so it pushed to the 61.8 level, and then that acted as resistance. It pushed it back to the 50 Fibo level, gave us a reversal pattern, and then we're seeing higher prices. All right, so for this to be further confirmed, for those of us who are more conservative, I would rather wait for it to set up perfectly. What we need to see is a break above this 61.8 level. What we need to see is a break above that level, and then that level needs to hold our support, and then a push higher from that level, right? So again, what would invalidate this would be to get it close below this 50 Fibo level, to get it close below it. That would kind of signify weakness. All right. So for the next 2-3 minutes, we have any questions on the assets that we've been able to highlight so far, so that anyone you would like me to recap on, so that we can call it a day. I believe we have a handful of assets that we can add to our watch list. It's been really fantastic. Gold is quite clear, it's quite straightforward. It is now above that resistance here at 27.20. It's now above it. And then if we head back to 1 hour to see what it looks like, on this 1 hour time frame, we're looking for our buy trigger. We're looking for our buy trigger to stay on the 1 hour time frame. Currently, this is looking constructive, bullish engulfing pattern there. But of course, we need it to be fully formed before it's finally confirmed. And then USD CAD2 is stuck in a range. USD CAD2 is stuck in a range between this resistance and this support here. So what we need to see would be a close above the resistance to confirm higher prices, or a close below the support. So currently we're sitting at resistance. It's sitting at resistance. So if we tune down to a lower time frame, we'll be looking out for bearish pattern here. However, if what we see is a close above, it closes above that resistance, a sustained close above that resistance, then we would like to see higher prices for USD CAD. You're going to use the idea for US 30 to approach US 100. I don't want to go over it separately. Okay. Okay. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to reach out to you through your account manager so that we can have that conversation. DE30. Yes, DE30, of course, that's not the US index, and that's why it's looking different. Of course, it's looking really bullish for DE30, looking really bullish. It's recently closed above resistance. It's recently closed above resistance, and then we see that. So currently it's bullish, and then if you look at this ascending channel as well, because it is now above it, so it's possible that we get a pullback. So this trend line can act as support. Mind you, this trend line is as far back as somewhere here, middle of 2024. It's been acting as resistance for price. And then recently, about 2 days ago, we got a break above that resistance. So because the price is already very high, we don't want to be buying at such a high price. That's why we need some retracement to get the price at some reasonable discounts before we buy, before we buy. Yes, we'll be in Oshogbo this week. So look out for that. We'll be in Oshogbo this week. Reach out to your account manager so you can be well informed. We'll be in Oshogbo this week. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It's been a really great time. It's been a fantastic 1 hour. We have a handful of assets we'll be looking out for trade opportunities. Thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow is another day. I wish us a great trading day. Thank you.